Our first speaker today is Dr. Reinhard Bergel. He drove all night the other night to get here. I'm going to let you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. But thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. My name is Reinhard Bergel. I'm originally from Austria, settled in San Francisco. And I don't know if you know, but Austria has incredible amount of spas, mineral spas, hot spring spas. And I come from the town of Mozart, Salzburg. And Salzburg means salt. And salt is Salz and Burg is castle. And this is the river Salzach. And I have operated a hot springs physical therapy rehabilitation facility in Calistoga. Calistoga is about 60 miles north of San Francisco in the Napa Valley. And it has one of the two geysers in North America. One is in Yellowstone and one is in Calistoga. And Calistoga is a geothermal town that was settled by Europeans in the mid-19th century, and the hot spring spa, the first one that was created there, was by a chiropractor in Calistoga. I'm a physical therapist, and I have operated a physical rehabilitation center and spa, the European type, from 1980 to 95 here in the Bay Area, using all the European hydrotherapy modalities that used to be very common in the United States in the 1940s up to 1950s, but sort of disappeared with modern medicine. And I had a staff of elderly therapists that were familiar with those so-called modalities of hydrotherapy in particular. And one key element was the sauna. That was one of the first things that I worked with athletic teams, wrestlers, baseball teams, high school teams. Part of their athletic program and conditioning program was always the sauna. Before we went out to train in the sauna, when we came back from training, into the sauna. The same with all the so-called application modalities. As you know, this is, you see the wine country, beautiful country. What Mary was referring to yesterday in the United States, the day spa phenomenon is a pure American creation. You see this popping up in Europe more and more, but the people go to the waters. You know, they take the waters. They take, and I will take you through these spa worlds, particularly in the German, Italian, Alpine region. Theme spas. Let's go around a jar with rocks. This is like gold, what you have in your hand. Don't eat it. Last year I went on a spa journey through North Africa, and I came across went to a specific town called Rasul. And this is Rasul Rock. And I was wondering why these Moroccan women, mothers, had such beautiful, beautiful hair, like silk, washing it with such a dirty piece of soap. So what you have in your hand is soap. So when you put this in a dish with water, it will dissolve and it's like silk. And you put it on your face or on your skin, and it has beautiful mineral properties. And in Europe, I don't know if you know, but there is the Rasul sauna. I'll show you some pictures. So within the time constraints, I just fly through these themes and everything about the benefits of the sauna, and it was wonderful. I learned a great deal from our Finnish people. All I can say in summary, to sell in spas, saunas is very difficult. And Mary hit on every aspect yesterday in her speech. What I have seen, the most beautiful sauna facilities are in Las Vegas. The Caesars Spa, if you want to go to a sauna and spa world, go to except Kabuki. So in Germany in particular, and some notes were made yesterday, how the German visit saunas. They are unbelievable facilities, unbelievable. You can take from north to south, east to west. When I fly to Germany, I'll meet with friends outside of Frankfurt in a sauna. After a 12-hour flight, get off, Bad Kreuznach, and meet in a sauna. And so there are indoor water parks. And in every, is a minimum of a dozen theme saunas in every of these facilities. You have the Egyptian sauna, you have the Mayan sauna, you have the Finnish sauna, the rock sauna, the Bach sauna. It's unbelievable, you know. These water parks, some statistics about investments of how to build these facilities, not so interesting. In the United States, every architect I deal with, they want to know what does it cost and what is the ROI, the return on my investment. And as Mary said yesterday, most facilities look at a sauna, a steam facility as an amenity. No? In Europe, minimum, in Germany, minimum for 2 hours is €30 per hour, or 2 hours. No? It doesn't matter what you use. When you walk into the facility, you can use any facility, sauna or pool or fitness or swimming, you have to pay 30. Here, they give it away. So if there's no business with a sauna, then they don't put any emphasis on a nice creation of a sauna. So these are some of the consulting jobs that I've been doing with clients, always around the theme of gymnasium with baths and dipping baths and steam baths, etc., etc. I'm trained as a bath master, not a sauna master. In Germany, they call him the bath master.
It's actually called BAD.
Bademeister.
B-A-D. Which is bad.
B-A-D-E.
Oh, Bade.
Bademeister.
Okay.
Bademeister. And there's a school in Bad Wörishofen, which is another topic, the Kneipp town of Father Kneipp, who picked up a book from a Czech doctor who cured himself with body wraps, cold body wraps, cold applications. And the most famous client of Father Kneipp in this town was the Pope, who was sick, and the Tsar, and there's a whole story about this. And Kneipp in Germany is a household word, and Kneipp therapy is a wholesome therapy. It involves nutrition, it involves relaxation, but for hydrotherapy in the saunas, every sauna in Germany has Kneipp or cold water. The only warm water you have when you walk into a facility is where you shower. But in the sauna area is only cold water, It's where you do your effusions, etc., in connection with the pools. So for relaxation, hydromassage, invigoration, etc. So this is how we I design facilities. Then you have the power jets and the pediluge and the hydromassage pools, the wading. You see here, this is the Scotch massage, These are all in sauna areas as part of a treatment procedure. No? And these are procedures then you can bill. So you tell the client, go into the sauna, which is free, but then you come out and you get a Scotch massage or a fusion. These facilities now are just incredibly elaborate with heated benches and for relaxation. And here the Turkish bath, the Tarami bath, then you'll see always the contrast temperature. You know, the contrast temperature application is very, very important. But when you tell people you have to jump in the cold water, that's not good, because in America nobody likes cold water. But it's the most powerful procedure or modality, the contrast temperature. It's like a passive exercise procedure, which you gradually have to develop. And people relate when you tell them what are the components of physical fitness, or is duration, intensity, and frequency. So with sauna, it's the same thing, that you have to gradually build up. So before you tell somebody to jump in a cold pool, it takes about 3 weeks for the vascular system to adjust. You're all familiar with this. Indoor pools, just a great emphasis now in Germany and in Austria and in Switzerland is to bring hydrotherapy, sauna, Kneipp therapy into the mainstream with children because of the huge obesity problem. And so whole families get involved. And when I see the project in Minnesota and the environment, where whole families bring their children now, it's something very new. Even sauna is popular in Europe, back to nature. So there are facilities that focus on children and on adolescent children. Like baby swimming. Very popular, baby swimming. Yeah.
Can I have a comment here? In Czech Republic, kindergartens have sauna.
Yeah.
And the small kids are there at least once a week.
Yes, yes. Same here.
And in this country, children are not allowed in the sauna.
Yeah.
There's rules about that.
I'll comment.
Yeah, no, we want it to be a little bit more interactive. So go ahead, Mary.
Right now, one of the biggest spa trends in the States is actually family spa'ing. It was multi-generational a while back, as we know, but right now the spaces are actually being built
Okay.
with families in mind. Smaller spaces where children can go, not as elaborate with the sauna and the pool and the whole thing, but
Yeah.
but the market is catering to families
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So it's spilling over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
So when I make these presentations to corporate or decision makers, that's what my presentation on the sauna is. And I work intermittently with a German company. Maybe you know Klafs. Have you ever heard of Klafs Sauna? They are 70 years in the business, and they make just beautiful products. They used to be located in Chicago, but they pulled out because of liability, etc., etc. There's just no business for the sauna was for Klafs, so they withdraw from the North American market. But these are a lot of facilities that come from Klafs sauna and Tarami sauna. So it's a little education. But these are the kinds of things Klafs build. I work also with a company from Istanbul, from Turkey, that make beautiful hammams, Turkish baths, marble. So depends on the budget. You know, the average sauna that the cost of saunas that I have specified for facilities were in the $200,000 range. As far as $500,000 saunas people spend. No? from
Now
Finlandia.
that the German
Finlandia.
Finlandia,
Hmm.
but
Amarek.
Finlandia doesn't make a stove, do they? I think it's Harvia. Yeah.
They are using Harvia stones.
Right, which
Harvia
you just showed
stones,
me
yeah.
the brochure.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Do they make multiple size electric stoves?
Yeah.
Harvia is
Yeah.
they make great stoves.
Yeah.
They're from Finland.
Familiar with the wood?
No, their stoves are excellent.
So the Klafs has developed a technology where you can, inside a room, change from soft heat to strong heat, steam heat, with the infusion of oxygen. Like you sit on your sauna bench and you have oxygen infusion, where you sit
Can you imagine?
on the chair and you lean over, and oxygen is piped into the sauna. Yeah, it's fabulous. It's fabulous. This is the hammam. Cost about 200,000 euro. Finished cost $300,000. Everything is heated. Everything is heated. You sit in there, and the couples. It's a ritual. It's a journey. They heat up and then go out, and they use a rasul rock and cover each other, and then you bake like a pretzel in there. And you come out all crusty, and you stand under the shower, under the jet shower or the jet hose, and you cleanse.
Are they using the same heating method under the floor?
Yeah, it's all heated. Everything is
Under the
heated.
floor, though, right?
Absolutely,
like a hypocrisy.
absolutely, yeah. And then the lights go out, and they and they ondulate. It's a real trip, like the Arabian Night. Yeah.
Hey, Doug,
You-
did you see that? These are some of the ones we have to get the film crew in.
So you see also here, this is a typical Kneipp setup in a sauna, where you have the cold hose, it's cold water, and it's a procedure that you do. People know about this. They are cold foot bath or alternate. You should, as you know, you should never expose the body to cold water unless the body is warm. So you have contrast temperature, and then there comes dry brushing, and which means you dry your skin, your wet skin, with a brush to stimulate circulation, to stimulate the lymphatic system, the venous system, etc., etc. But this is a typical setup: cold overhead shower, and the Kneipp. It's called the Kneipp hose. It's just a simple water hose. So then we have the Caldarium, classic Caesar spa. We have the Ladarium, the Roman spa. As you see, everything is an ancient Rome style. This is you see in Las Vegas, and you have the Finnish theme, the cabin. Oops,
Is that the end?
what did I do? Was that the end?
I think we've reached the end. that's all
Anyway,
your
go
slides.
to the go to the
I go to this, yeah. Wait a second.
go
guys.
to the internet.
There-
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm showing you. I do a lot of work in Mexico, and in the southern part of Mexico, near the Guatemala border, on the Pacific, is a new development, an development called Huatulco, and I know a German-Mexican couple, and they found me, and they wanted me to help them in design of of the hydrotherapy area for their Mayan sauna. So if you go on here, Temescal,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
ceremonial. So they created a pre-Hispanic Temescal. Hopefully we can see it. If not, you can look it up
You
yourself.
know what? The cursor doesn't work over here. So what I have to... Oh, there it is. Okay, now what do I... Here?
To the green. Like
Right
Up here.
Can you say what a temescal is for?
Mexican, it's an Indian sauna. Sweat house, sweat lodge.
Well, it's basically it's a Mayan word,
Mayan.
temescal, and it means spreader. No, it's like hot room, hot house.
Yeah.
And it's ancient. It's thousands of years old.
So it's a Mayan ritual,
It's
and
not,
this one they have created in this town. In this there were many hotels, but none of the hotels had a spa.
It doesn't link. It
no?
doesn't go. Sorry, it's not going to it. I click on it. It's not. It must be their servers down or something. This is a website, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not going.
So Skenda, XQUENDA.
What are you talking about?
That's the name. If you write this down, you can look it up yourself.
Yeah.
In the town of Huatulco,
Yeah.
Huatulca, Tulco. And so they have created a Mayan theme, beautiful facility, and this bathhouse, Temescal,
Yeah.
for about 20 people, and you can go through the whole ritual. And every spa suite, which are about 6, has the individual Temescal. So for couples or for 2-4 people, and then you go through the ritual, the sauna ritual, and then you get your massage, your underwater, your body wrap, or your herbal wrap, or your.
Reinhard, I want to jump in just for a second because you asked a question about the Temescal, and we tried to get somebody here from Mexico to talk about it, but I'm really thankful that you're actually. I didn't know you were involved with the Temescal. I just want to say one thing about the Temescal that's very interesting. When I was there in the 70s, they were still used by the poor people in the villages, and they were the original Temescal. It's a different type of heating system. It works. I'm not going to explain it all now, but basically it's still heating.
Indian, yeah, it's Indian, just like the
Well,
lady.
no, it's really
lady
not.
presented yesterday
It's got a
with the-
different method of. It looks like an igloo, and then the heating method's different. But the point I'm trying to make here, and this is what I find so interesting about seeing this slide up here, and hearing about the phenomena that's occurring in Mexico, which is. When I was there, it was just poor people. And in the villages, they were using it as if it was used 3,000 years ago. And frankly, the bath is probably as old as the Roman baths, or older. But now, and this is something that seems to be happening, which is, I'm noticing more and more, the indigenous sweat bath of a culture somehow is permeating, coming back up in reaching much higher levels, finding its way into spas and finding its way into kind of the upper class. So there's a resurgence in Mexico with the Temescal. The same thing's happening. I think we'll hear a little bit about the hammam in Turkey. It's occurring there. So, there's something happening in the world now. But they're bringing back the indigenous sweat baths, which I find really
I
interesting.
go once a month. I go in Baja, south of Ensenada, up on a hill, to a shaman ritual. And every time I go there are different people, and I know the people for many, many years, and it's really rough,
And there's always.
all dirt.
The
They're.
Temescal, the leader is the healer.
It's a shaman, always there. There's always a shaman. Hmm? There's a shaman that comes from Clear Lake. He's a Pomo Indian. There's a Pomo Indian tribe up there that comes down to Baja, California, And once I attended there was a shaman conference. There were like 6 shaman,
Okay.
Mexican.
So we have Bodemeisters, we have shamans. That's another school we need now, right? Shamans go. Now, does anybody? Wait, you don't. I have some questions for you. Anybody have some questions for Reinhard? Yeah.
Is there anything similar to this existing in North America at the moment? All of
These
concepts
beautiful
you're describing?
places that he's shown us.
Yeah, is there anyone that's actually
Thank you,
put
ma'am.
that all together? Do you think?
Here,
That's the only
use the
place.
speaker for the.
There are lots of Temescals in hotel.
Oh, you mean
Wait,
Temescal?
But the thalasso concept, where you've got the Vichy shower.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But the whole concept where
Yeah.
everything that you've showed us
Yeah.
today is
See,
one
Yeah.
development.
I mean, the evolution of the spa in North America came from the cosmetic industry, not the health industry, because there was a business. You heard it yesterday. So, what I have learned and experienced during the last, let's say, 5-7 years with the recession, there's been a a recession, a regression. Many facilities closed because of the high overhead. It's a very intensive overhead. But on the other hand, I found most of my clients now that I work with, they are from Eastern Europe, Russians, Ukrainians, in Ukrainian communities, because they know how to use hydrotherapy. And they use, if it's in Seattle, and the Koreans, the Asians, they do those scrubbing rituals.
But like a thalassotherapy center you would find anywhere in Europe or even North Africa, you do find them.
Yeah.
Is there a place you can go in the States?
For true thalasso, there's North America, there's really one, and it's Gurney.
Well, I was going to say the oldest, because they're Italian background, and they basically, what is thalasso? Thalasso is the use of ocean water. So they pump the Atlantic Ocean water in. They sit on the very tip of Long Island, Montauk. On the very tip, Montauk. Montauk. It's called Gurney's Inn. On the very tip of Long Island.
They have
Ocean water spa. So they pump in the water, ocean water from the Atlantic into the swimming pools. And they do, what I just showed you. They do the showers, the Vichy shower, the body wraps. Thalassotherapy is a whole therapy, mostly developed in France because of the properties in modern time. But it was developed by the Greeks. That's what it means.
you showed us today have been
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah. There are some beautiful ones in Cancun,
Yeah.
by Talgo, by Futumer, the French companies that use, of course, ocean, the algae.
And then there was the sutra baths that we heard about last night, too.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sutra bath, but they don't exist
They don't-
anymore.
well,
Yeah.
In our mind, they do.
Yeah.
After last
yeah.
night.
Yeah.
So, okay, I think we're going to have to move on now.
Any other question?
Quick question? Okay, so Reinhard, thank you very
Well,
much.
I wanted to say that this forum
Hold on.
should be
Go
a
ahead.
part of any, and she's a mover and shaker in the industry. She has more clout to promote this through the media. This kind of forum, I think, is very important to be integrated in any of these spa conferences that are going on in Dallas, in Miami, etc. Here in San Jose is one conference, in Miami, in Dallas, in Chicago. A sauna part of yeah. But it's difficult to sell.
So, wait, but Reinhard, we're talking like TED type of thing, right? So instead of TED, you know what TED conferences are? You've all heard of TED conferences? Oh, we're going to have sweat conferences, right? Sweat conferences. Sure, why not? Okay, thank you. Very nice.